kind of cool and kind of portable. Let's see what the back says. The back says the fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. I should hope so. It's the latest Xbox. Seems kind of obvious. Redefine speed with the Xbox Velocity architecture. And this is cool. Play thousands of games, yes, of course, through Game Pass, which I've been experimenting with. This is your kind of always-on gaming stuff. It's across mobile and on the console, and it's all very exciting. You have a variety, a large game inventory. On the side, we get a little insight into the design of the board that powers everything. 4K 120 FPS, 8K HDR, that 1 terabyte drive that I mentioned, a variable refresh rate, and of course 4K Blu-ray playback as well. Inside the package, we have the console, a controller. We have the high-speed HDMI cable, which is necessary for those higher resolutions at faster refresh rates. And of course, we are capable of wireless networking. I also see the Dolby Vision Atmos logo down below. Box design, what can I say? I kind of like how ambiguous the front of it is. The green showing through. The simple design. Obviously, Sony and Microsoft took a different approach to their design this year. Quite a different approach. You see what we're working with in the Xbox department with that minimalist setup. Okay, so I believe these are pull tabs. I'll go ahead and just, that's it. Wow, that's, I don't even need to use any type of blade. The way they've done it here, it doesn't even rip the packaging. That's too easy. And then what? And then I just flip this down. You see, they went for the tabletop, did they? Let's see what we got. Okay, 2 more over here. One more that way, and we fold it down, and ooh, I just hit the microphone. Look at this. I like the way they did that. Power your dreams. It's a tabletop unboxing experience. Look at the shape. You have the slope coming down, Xbox in the middle. I pop this baby out, and I just put it down. Maybe I just put it down for a moment. It's all wrapped up. Also in the package, we have a little quick start. Super simple quick start with a handle on it. And they also want to talk about the application that you can get on iOS and Android to control various aspects of the Xbox. Of course, you can also do Game Pass, but that's more of an Android thing for the moment. I believe they're still targeting iOS with that product. Eventually, for the time being, that's on Android. And we've also got some instructions here around the controller, double A's, and all the rest of it. Now, there's this box here. This whole box actually comes out. So I'll remove the big one now, and we'll focus on these accessories. So inside the pack, we have a 2-prong power cable, which is nice to see. You don't need any type of external power. It's all built into the box itself. We have our high-speed HDMI cable. Actually, this one says ultra high speed. This is important, of course, for these high resolution, high refresh. So if you don't use this cable, you have a long cable hooked up to your setup or something like that, just keep in mind you got to have that high-speed cable. And then last accessory in the package is going to be the controller. And I've actually checked out this controller previously with the demo unit that I had. And so it's a lot like the previous generation, not a huge change here. Grippy, they have the new D-pad on there, a couple of new buttons, but it's going to be a familiar place for anybody who's had a previous generation Xbox. Now, on the bottom of the device, of course, you have your accessory port here, headset port, and it's going to be USB Type-C as well for connection to the system. Inside of here is where you place your AA batteries, so they have done a removable setup, though they do include the batteries as well. A couple of Duracells, which are not for retail sale. You know what's interesting? When they're not for sale, the Duracell logo is actually smaller and just says Duracell OEM. But you know it's a Duracell because the way the branding is in your mind when you see the copper top, which goes back to my childhood. Man, battery companies used to market a lot more than they do now. Rechargeable batteries, lithium, all the rest of it inside of your devices totally changed the game. In the old days, you had to have these on hand, didn't you? Yeah, so they will have the charge kit. So if you do want to recharge, it's your choice. This is more of an in a pinch situation when you need some some juice quickly, or I guess if you travel with it. But it does seem a little bit odd in 2020 to still have the AA batteries inside. It does mean, however, that you have some cross compatibility across the older gen consoles. Anyway, there's your controller set up and ready to go. It's really not a big deal. Comfort-wise, the comfort is there. I could game there for a while. Shoulder buttons, trigger buttons, all the rest of it. It feels proper. It is matte black. I think from a durability standpoint, this one's going to hold up as well. Scratches, whatever you got on your hands, your grimy hands, this is going to be a decent setup. Okay, let's get to the console. Power your dreams. I saw their very first commercial. It was centered around the same concept, the powering of the dreams. Very inspirational, aspirational, imaginative. The battle, the war for next generation dominance is upon us. It is, of course, the Xbox Series X versus the PS5. This is Microsoft's play inside this packaging. All right, there we have it. The retail version of the Xbox Series X, ready for prime time, ready for your home, and ready for the holiday season. It's a subtle design. It is a simple form. It's as simple as you could imagine. Some people are going to really appreciate that. Others may question those choices and maybe have hoped for something a little more ambitious. I like the simple form factor. It is called Xbox, after all. It must be some type of box. The front of the device, you have your Blu-ray disc drive. You have your USB Type-A port for charging and connection. Looks like a little sync button. Your power button is up here, hidden within the Xbox logo. I turn it around, and then we can see all of our important ports, including 2 more USB Type-A's, our Ethernet jack, a power port, an HDMI out, and then the storage expansion slot, which I mentioned earlier. We do have a 1 terabyte expansion card in the house. They're a little bit pricey, but they're super portable and probably slightly more durable than if you had a non-proprietary option. This can be placed upright like this. It can also be placed down like this for space saving. And of course, this is one of the advantages on the Microsoft side, is you have a slightly more trim form factor, and you have a device that may fit a little bit more easily into certain people's setups, but it won't be as flashy or as immediately obvious in your space as the PlayStation 5. So that's going to be a styling choice for you, but that's probably not the core reason around how or why you're going to select this console for your next generation. You probably have other considerations, including titles that are going to be available. We are going to get Halo at some point over here. Maybe you're currently an Xbox